Hi guys, it's me Karen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a picture in a Posh coloring book inspired by nature by Marjolein Bastin. I picked this little squirrel picture out. So today I'm going to be working on the trees in the background, the big trees here. I've pulled out every single one of the Polychromos warm gray colors. I'm going to start off with number 1. And I'm just going to shade in the tree. So I know what tree is a tree, what isn't a tree. Put it that way. So this is our lightest color. There'll probably be a little white in here, but I want to make sure that I know what tree is a tree, how far down it goes. Even if this is black down here like the other picture, I still want to put in the color so I have an identifying area. This is one of those pictures that's going to take a few parts. If this is not something you're into, I welcome you to go find another video that is not going to take too long. A lot of artists out here coloring beautiful pictures. I just happen to want to have a picture that is going to challenge me. Number 1, I've never done a tree like this before, and I think it looks like fun. I've done little critters before, but there's also a background in here that is interesting, so I figured I am due for a challenge. And the lovely thing about challenging myself to a picture like this is I do have a reference area right next door, and I learn a whole bunch when I do these kind of things, like the layering process of these pencils, what pencil colors make a nice warm gray to brown tone. He's going to have a little bit of this on his nose, so I'm going to stick some of that there too. And probably a little on his chest here. Just give him a little color too while we're there. And right above his eye. That way we keep that color there. It is also going to be down here on the rocks, so while we're here we will put a little coloration on the rock here. And this rock over on this side. So how are you all today? We are finally getting rain. I know, that sounds really odd. I live in Washington State. We're supposed to be the, you know, rain capital of everywhere. But we haven't had any rain this summer, so I'm pretty excited that we are getting a little bit of rain. So there we go. Just some color down. This is a big mossy area, kind of like the moss on that branch, so we'll throw a little of that gray in here just because there's some really light colors and that gray can help. Okay, so that was the warm gray 1. I'm going to go in with the warm gray 2. And we're just going to color on this side of the trees. And if we look at this tree here, We have a little bit of the gray showing wherever there's a line, so we have a line around here, and I'll darken that area up a bit. And then here we'll have a little bit more. So just where the lines are, I'm going to bring in a little of that color to shadow that side. So we just go down and down. Okay, back up here. We're going to find the colors here and bring those out a little bit on this side. We're going to bring it down into his fur, because his fur will be fluffy, but I want at least a hint of that coming down in there. And I'll be doing that with a different color, so it's okay. Alright, then the side, there's a little bit here and a tiny bit here. So we'll darken those two spots. Then on the other side, I'm going to turn the book a little bit because our lines are going across here. This color kind of comes in a little further on this side. So we'll just go down the side. These marks are, and bring them out a little bit. Make sure you get this area nice and dark. You don't want to press hard on this. We are going to put lots of layers, so we want to do light pencil, but you want to make sure it gets everywhere. This is nice smooth paper. It's always enjoyable to work in these books with the polys, because you can put lots and lots and lots and lots of layers on them and get a color out of there that is not in the pencil selection. Okay, these are coming in. This is the dark area, and then these are light areas, so we don't want to color those. It's like the tree is peeling or something. And then this is really dark down in this area. Okay, we're going to do that on all the trees. So this one. And where there are lines on the other side, we want to darken that up too. And then our last tree. This is kind of like tree is cut in half here, kind of. It's not a full tree, so there's not going to be as much darkness on this side. I'm just going to run that color up and pull some of those lines out. Okay, that is number 2. We go to number 3. We go to number 3. Where is number 3? We don't have a number 3? We should have a number 3. Where's number 3? Are you number 3? Number 3, left in the case in a different area. I'm going to sharpen that one now. There we go. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to just go up the one side, figure out where our lines are, and darken up some of these a little bit more. This one's easier to find the areas, so I think I'll start with it. We're darkening these lines a little bit. Still going to be putting on more colors, so you don't have to press dark on this. And this one is a dark piece, and a few on that side. Okay, and we'll do this one. Okay, on this one, it's okay if you go out of bounds. I'm not going to let it bother me. My hand will sometimes jump. That's why my eraser's a best buddy. Just make sure we use it. And then this one. Then we're going to turn it back and put some more of this color in here. And around our little guy's face here. Gonna darken some areas. Just kind of following the lines that are on the other side of the page. And the trees are darker down at the bottom. Okay, kind of looking like trees. So there's 3, we need 4. That's 5. 4. Go in and do the same thing. Just a bit darker. Cutting in lines that just go straight across. On these, we're just going to use that tip there just to darken them up a little bit more and add in a few that weren't there to begin with. Okay. Just come back up here. Don't be afraid here to add in your own lines just to give it a little more character. I don't know if the other picture looks to be watercolored, so they would just take their brush and dot it around. We don't have that convenience because our pencils only go where we tell them to. You can use your imagination and add a few little lines and dots in here too. Change the shape of these and elongate them or throw in some dots. Make sure they get some dark color in them though. Pull those across a little further. So get happy with it the way you want it to look. You're just going to add in a few more of those lines. I'm going to work on this one just a bit, then we'll go back and work on another one. going to bring in the number 5, doing the same thing. Just tapping it in there. It's a little darker. It's going to get black in here, so we're just darkening it and giving it some color. I'm not sure what they've got going on here. When in doubt, put something else there. I'm going to go around the little squirrel here a little more and just darken out the background. You can put a shadow on that tree. Put a little of this color down in here. Okay, next color. Let's find it. 6. Put a tip on it. Do the same thing. It's a little darker. Not as dark as we want, but we want all these shadows in here. And then we're going to go up in this area. Darken that up a little bit more. We're going to bring in a sepia and a black in here too. So we have the dark sepia. I have to turn the book. Sorry about that. sorry, not talking, just going through and putting in lines. Okay, we're going to take the black in and just darken up some of those lines. And then this area down here is really dark, so we're going to run that around down in here. We're going to blend it out lightly over on this side. Okay, then we're going to go backwards and put in color in reverse. This one is the 6, and we're just going to darken down in here. And there's a little bit of darkness up in this area up here. Then we can pull out into here. Again, around the little guy's mouth. We'll skip that one and just go with number 4. And bring it on down. Then we'll skip again and go to number 2. And then back down to number 1. Bring those lines just out a little bit more. Then I'm going to use my finger, blend it up and over. There we go. If we need to erase in between, we want to do that so we have a clean background. And there we have a tree. I'm going to throw a tiny bit of brown in here. It looks to be a tiny yellowish, greenish area. Yellow. This isn't quite yellow. Do we have a yellowish green that's really light? Well, I'll pull out my favorite color, Chrome Green Opaque, and throw a little bit of that in here with the gray. As long as we go light, we'll get a little bit of it and not too much. But it'll change the whole tree here. Tiny bit on that side. Rub that in. Kind of blend it with the gray. Then just a touch of yellow. It's more of a ochre color, so try a little Naples yellow in here. And then a brown ochre. Just where we put the greens, bring it over to the side. I don't like this one down here, so I'm just going to spot it like that and put in the brown. And that'll tone that down a little bit. Okay. And there. A tiny bit up there. There's also a reason for that. We're going to be doing the squirrel in browns, and we kind of want that warm gray to turn a little bit of a brown area. So we're going to go over it one more time with a little bit of black and add in any lines that we think we need to sharpen those up a little. Or to deepen them. Right about here, this one is supposed to be nice and dark. Then we have a big, right across from his arm, right in here, kind of a thicker band, so we're going to make that thicker. And then we start getting dark down here. So we're going to darken that up. Excuse me for a minute. Okay. Kitty cat is bugging me for pets, like I've been ignoring him or something. I'm going to finish this up, and then I'm going to call it just one little tree here. It does something like that. And then down in here we'll line that one up and darken this area. Again, I'm not really pushing hard until I'm making these little lines, and I'll do that a little harder. But we're keeping it, for the most part, soft moving colors so we can get our shading in perfect, or at least decent. Not perfect, I'm never after perfection. I'm just after something that looks good. It really doesn't have to look like the other page. Keep that in mind if you're doing these kind of things. Add in your own stuff. Have fun with the page. Don't get yourself so riled up that it has to look exactly like that. Because mine is not going to look exactly like that. I think that's pretty good. going to darken this just a bit on this side. To get a too big of a line there, I'm going to have to darken that a little bit more. And the lightest color. I might even bring a little white on that. I didn't mean to get it that dark. Prisma white always sits on my desk so I can pull it out for some reason. Then we'll just bring it down on this side too. Just turning the pencil so I can get a sharp point, or at least a point that doesn't have a whole bunch of color on it when I'm doing this. There. Okay. One tree. I'll get the other ones done when I come back, and you'll see how they all look together. Just going right on that edge and pulling that black line into the page. But there we go, we got a tree. Kind of looks like a tree. I'm happy with it. So I will see you guys in part 2 of this. I'll have the other little 3 trees done, and we'll either work in the background or the rocks or the squirrel. All depends. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you're going to enjoy this little page as much as I will. I will see you in the next one. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. And have a wonderful day. Bye now.